Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Bailey Rose. Welcome if you are new and thank you for returning if you are not new. And in today's video we are going to be talking about all of my top favorite, most incredible, life-altering, world glass-shattering lessons that I learned in my first year of business. So let's get started. So when I first launched my online business where I do branding and podcast management and web design, I made a very silly error. I didn't have clear branding. I was doing branding for other people but didn't have clear branding myself. So my first tip and my first lesson that I learned was to have clear branding. Now this might sound super basic, but branding isn't just a logo, colors, fonts. Okay, it's so much more than that. That's the visual aspect of branding, and that's great. But branding is also the foundations of your entire business. So who are you actually wanting to work with? Who are you trying to target through your business? Who are the people that you want to work with? So if you're a service-based business like a social media manager or a service provider like I am, web design, branding, make sure that you know the exact person that you want to work with in your business. Because if you don't have clients that are aligned with who you are, what you offer, the way that your business works and the way that you work, and if you have a team, the way that your team works, it's just going to cause major rifts. And so make sure that when you first get started, you look into that. You know, who is my ideal client? Are they, what is their age range? My ideal client is a woman from the ages of 25 to 35. They enjoy yoga and they love Instagram. And they really want to grow their own small business. And so that is my ideal client. And so now I know who that is. Every time I create content, I am creating it for that woman. And that is something that I find so incredibly important. And it makes your content so much clearer too, because you're not trying to attract everyone. Because if you try and connect with everyone, you end up connecting with no one. So make sure you know who your target audience is. And along with branding, get clear on what your goals are as a business. What are your pillars as a brand? What is your ethos? What is important to you? I have a free PDF for you down in the description if you want to check out all of my tips on starting a personal brand and branding in general, down in the description bar below. So my next lesson and tip is to really show up on social media. Again, this sounds super basic, but your social media can act like your online business card. Everything is digital now, and everyone is on social media. And if you have a business or a brand that isn't on social media, you're missing out majorly, because there is almost 1.4 billion people on Instagram. That is a massive audience that you can just tap into. And getting clear on your branding will also help you understand the types of content that you can create as well, and your content pillars, which are the themes that you can create your content around. On Instagram, I often create content educating around branding, educating around why people need a website in their business, and just trying to make people more aware of that. And then always adding call to actions at the end of all of my social media posts, getting them to book in a call with me, a free call, so that they can discuss branding, their new website, all of that kind of stuff. So the third lesson that I learned in my business is to get good contracts. I cannot stress this lesson enough. When I decided to invest in good contracts, my entire business changed. I'm not exaggerating. The month that I started implementing the new contracts that I had paid a lawyer to help write up for me, I doubled my profits from the previous month, which is insane. And the reason that I love contracts so much is that when I first started, I didn't have any, and it left me open to something called scope creep, which basically meant that I didn't have protected time, and my clients could, if they didn't like something about a certain logo or something like that, they could come back to me and go, I'm not happy with this, I want it redone. And then I would redo it, and then I didn't like it, and I could just keep redoing it, and there would be no protection of my own time, and I'd end up working for free basically, or for negative money, because of the amount of time that I've spent redoing this time and time again. So what I really recommend is getting that clear in your contracts. It's a great way to outline everything. And also, I just want to point out, this is different from a proposal. When I started, I didn't even know how to use proposals, but a proposal isn't actually a legal document, so it isn't actually going to be protecting you. And for the most part, I just use contracts more as just an agreement, because it's way more professional for your clients. And when they sign a contract, it shows that they actually value your time. And if there is a client that you're potentially going to be working with who kicks up a stink around signing a contract, that is a major red flag, because what it does is it's just protecting your time and creating a strong agreement with the other person, with the other party, that these are the rules, these are parameters of the work that I'll be doing for you. This signs off that after I have created X, Y, and Z for you, they become yours, and all of that, so that there is no confusion or any gray areas that there can be debate around. You can also put inside your contracts your refund policy if you have one, you know, whether that client can pull out, and if they do, whether you give them a full refund, partial refund, or no refund. Clearly laying out how much everything will cost for your client and the payment parameters. So, you know, are they paying in full? Are they paying half now, half later? And also being able to include in your contracts what is not included in this agreement. So when I do a website, I make sure to add in my what's not included section is website copy. So I absolutely refuse to do any writing on a website, because that is not part of my job. But if my client is requiring that, that can be something that we can talk about and then include into the contract and up the price to include that. So my next big lesson was to always make sure I get a deposit before I start work. You don't want to start work on a client's project without securing any money first, because that is just another part of creating that agreement that they have agreed to work with you and there is no confusion. So you get them to sign a contract and then you get a deposit, whether they are going to be paying you completely upfront before you start any work, or half, or one of 3 payments, or whatever it is that you have agreed to in the contract. Just always make sure that you protect yourself by getting a deposit first. And my last lesson that I learned is that it is okay to make mistakes, as long as you are able to clean up your mistakes and, you know, own up to them and move forward and grow from those mistakes. You can't actually grow in any aspect of your life if you don't make mistakes. Mistakes are how we learn and grow. So when something does go wrong, just see it as a learning opportunity. I have up so many goddamn times since I started my business. I have, in just so many different ways, the amount of stuff that I have accidentally deleted, and I just look at it and be like, okay, so what is the lesson here? What do I need to do to make sure that I don't lose this again? What, you know, what do we do to make sure that X, Y, and Z doesn't happen again? I'm then able to put in place systems to protect myself from that happening ever again. And So making mistakes actually is a good thing sometimes and can really help you learn and grow. So thank you so much for watching this week's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you are wanting any more of my lessons that I've learned in my first year of business, do let me know in the comments down below. I have a bunch more in my notebook that I am free to talk about at any stage. Make sure that you subscribe and turn off the notification bell if you want to see more of my face every week. And you can follow me on Instagram at baileyrose.co, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!